All right, what is up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at a pretty cool matchup over in the East. This is red Zoro versus purple Luffy. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, someone correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the last big tournaments. Well, actually, let me show you guys real quick. This tournament here is, it was streamed 10 hours ago, and it was, the date today is Thursday, November 23rd. So this is, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the last, if not the last, major tournaments over in the East for OP-05. And then OP-06 is coming out for them, and I think in about a week. I can't remember, I don't know the exact date, but it's coming out very soon for them. So this is one of the last tournaments that's happened over there. And one thing I do also want to mention is, okay, where's the screen I saw? Is this right here. So this is the top 16 of this tournament. 9 blue and black Sakazukis, 6 purple Luffys, and 1 Zoro. I'm pretty sure that's what that says. Not because I know how to speak Japanese, but because of the current tournament results. And like I said, the first game we're watching today, or that I was watching, that I wanted to record or make a video out of, was Zoro versus purple Luffy, because everything else is just going to be Sakazuki. Yeah, I should just say it like that. Everything else in this tournament is going to be Sakazuki at this rate. Now, I have skipped through just to see what each matchup was, because I wanted to get the most interesting matchup. And I'd rather see this Zoro versus purple Luffy. And I have had, I think it was in my last video. Let me hit play while I'm talking about it. In my last video, I think that I did on this, like, the game analysis style video, someone was like, oh, I think he may have already seen this matchup, wink, wink. And, it's like, guys, that's not, it's not entirely true, because when these games come out, it's at like 2 in the morning over here in the West, and I'm a teacher. I'm up at 6 a.m. I just can't watch those, right? Sometimes when it's on the weekends, I'll try to make time for it, or at least, like, glance at it when I can, or, like, keep it going on my other screen and see what's going on. So there is some truth to it. Yeah, I definitely have a small glimpse into some of these games' future, but not entirely. I try to leave it as much of a blind reaction as possible, but definitely my number one goal, let me pause it right here, my number one goal is for these to be educational, game analysis. I want to hear what y'all say, because y'all hear me all the time. I'm like, hey guys, what would y'all do here? Or what do y'all think about this game? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So we got what looks to be a decent hand for the purple Luffy. He did mulligan down to this, so he's stuck with it. But we got Page 1, Trafalgar Law, X Drake, Miss All Sunday, and the 5-cost blocker Kid. With purple Luffy, one thing I've noticed is it seems good for them to just always have, like, how do I say it? It seems like the deck is built where it just has lots of 4 and 5 drops. Because if you go first, or if they call that being on the play, where you're on the odd curve, he can get to his 4-cost characters on turn 2 still, because of his leader's effect. And then the same thing is true as if he's going second, well, then he doesn't have to use his leader's effect to play his 4-cost characters, or he can ramp quickly to his 5-cost characters. So, the deck does seem very powerful in that regard, and that, like, it has a lot of, it can get, like, how do I say this? Not a lot of mileage. It can get a lot out of a little, right? So that is very nice with that, with the leader's effect. So let's see what's in the hand of the Zoro player. And as usual, guys, I do keep this in 2x speed. That's just the way I like to review these, so I can pause and talk about it. Okay, I'm going to fast forward. Okay, nice. All right, so next up we got the oh gosh, so we got the Zoro player's hand here. So I don't know if this is a good or bad hand. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I haven't seen much Zoro in OP-05, and I'm not a Zoro player. Like, I see the Buggy as being really good, and the Sanji. This is just a vanilla 1-cost 3k Sanji. But these Nico Robins, if I'm not mistaken, those are just KO a 1k or less, and then he's got a Rad Beam. Let me see real quick. Let me go to it. I got it up over on my other monitor here. Okay, so yeah, so this is the card, the Nico Robin we're looking at. 1 cost, 2,000 power, 1,000 counter, red Straw Hat Crew. Effect KF one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1,000 power or less. All right, so I don't think this is a great start for the Zoro. I could be wrong. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I don't think this is an incredible start. Okay, let's going fast forward to get this game going. All right. And I guess they're just doing the production here, trying to get started. And, okay, so it looks like Luffy's going to go first. He's going to play one Dawn and pass. That's pretty standard for, I think, the way this hand's set up. Can't do much more with it. Okay, next up, we're going to do a buggy search. And it looks like we're going to get Fire Fist. Okay, so real quick, for those who don't know, it looks like this is the new Fire Fist that has come out in OP-05. And this is what it does. It's a 2-cost red Revolutionary Army event. Trigger activates the main, so I'm just going to read the effect now. The main is give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4,000 power during this turn. So that's going to combo with your Nico Robin. But if you have 2 or less life, it'll also KO up to one of your characters. It'll also KO up one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. Okay. It says or less because you can go in the negatives of power in this game. Okay, so he got the Fire Fist, and he establishes a Sanji. So that does seem like a very good start. Okay, but real quick, so leader effect from Luffy here. He draws a ulti. I guess he drew an ulti on turn 1 and 2 for the 2k counters. Now he's going to use his leader's effect. Wait a second. Oh, so he drew an ulti from life. Excuse me. He drew an ulti from life from the leader's effect to get to 4. Swings 5, 1k counter out with Nico Robin from the Zoro. All that makes sense. All that's fine. And then plays a page 1. Wow. So typically speaking, a lot of turn 2 or 3 plays is going to be like a 5,000 power character. That immediately counters the Fire Fist. That's in hand. That has to feel horrible for the Zoro player. That has to feel pretty bad. Okay, so let's see what happens here. He's going to load up for 6k on the leader. And it looks like he... Yeah, I was going to say he's got 2 bodies on the board. But I wonder... Okay, so swing 5. I'm going to pause real quick. So, I wonder if it's the right answer to swing all out like this first, because there's no way this buggy survives next round, right? Let me see. And I don't play Zoro, guys, so bear with me. I'm not, like, trying to, like, overly criticize this player. I am not a red, purple, or green player. My colors are blue, black, and yellow. That's, like, where I reside in this game. Okay, so real quick. So 1k counter out with Trafalgar Law. That's interesting, because that is a blocker. Blockers are really good. But he does also have a Eustace Kid still. Okay, swing 5 more at leader. 2k counter out. And then swing 6 at leader. Okay, and gets a Polly. Gets a Polly from life. Very nice. And now we're going to do a buggy search. Looks like the only option... Oof. That's hard to see right there, because that was a Rush Zoro, a 5-cost Luffy. I can't tell what that is. Is that... I don't know what that is. And then a 2k. I'm pretty sure this is the Alt-Art Brook, the 2k counter. Oh, it looks like a Dedan. That looks like an Alt-Art Dedan right there. Yeah, it is. So he gets the Diable Jambe, because that's all he can get with buggy. Luffy is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus the 4 Dawn of the Zoro player currently. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see what he does with this. So he asks how many cards in hand, 5. So swing 6 at buggy. He's gone. Then we're going to use leader's effect to go to 7. See, he's probably going to play Polly now, right? That's got to be the follow-up here. Okay. Play 5 for Polly. Pay 2 to activate the effect to ramp a Dawn and KO a 4 or less. KOing the active buggy. Swinging 5 at the... swinging 6 with the leader at the Sanji. Oof. Okay, so that was a very, very strong turn for Luffy here. Now, as a Zoro player, my board's gone. I'm not feeling great about that, right? Because I had 3 1-cost 3Ks on the board. And looking at his hand, he's got a 1-cost Nico Robin, 1-cost Nico Robin, 2 Rad Beams, Diable Jambe, which his opponent knows about, so there's no element of surprise there. And then the Fire Fist. And I think he knows about Fire Fist as well. I think he had to reveal that with the buggy. Wow. Okay, so it looks like he's going to swing 10 at page 1. Oh, no, excuse me. He swings 10 at life. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 10 at life. I'm surprised he didn't try to take out the buggy, or excuse me, the page 1 here. But hey, this guy knows Zoro better than I do. I can pretty much promise you that this is going to be interesting here. And his follow-up, is he just going to sit on a Rad Beam? Okay. That's kind of strange. He has 5 life. Rad Beam only does 4k when you have 2 or less life. I'm surprised he didn't just establish a Nico Robin here, just something on the board. And I'm also surprised he didn't try to take out the page 1. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Did I miss something? Okay, the judge is going to help him straighten out the Luffy. Swing 7 life. Absolutely, he'll take that. I think he's very happy to take that. And is that the... What did he... I can't quite see what he got there. Is that the Dadan? I think it's a Dadan. That alt-art Dadan. Oh, no. And then, so now he got another Trafalgar Law. I'm sorry, I must have missed that. Did he draw that for the turn? I'm going to go back real quick. So untap. He got a Kaido, it looks like, for the turn. I don't know when he got that Trafalgar Law, guys. I must have missed that. It must have been from one of the life cards. Okay, but then he's going to... Here we go. So he plays out the Trafalgar Law, and he does have 7 cards in hand. And, okay, he loses a... I think it was a Rad Beam and a Nico Robin from the Trafalgar Law's effect. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for the Zoro player. Okay, swing 6 with Paulie. And what's he looking? He's looking at a Fire Fist. And remember, that just activates the main effect. Which, maybe... No, he couldn't even do it on the leader. Excuse me, it's for characters only. And then he's going to take this, go down to 2. And establish a 5-cost 6k blocker. And so, yeah, I'm going to pause real quick. So at this position in the game... what is it called? Like, the Zoro player is in dire straits. I think that's how you say it. Someone help me out in the comment section if there's another way to say that properly, whatever that expression is. This is a situation where you do not want to be in, right? Probably for any deck, but for Zoro in particular, you're facing 1 life in the leader's hand, or excuse me, your opponent has 1 life still and 2 blockers on board. You have no board. That's where this gets ugly. Excuse me. And I wonder what the answer is going to be here. He's got a Makino. Yeah, let me pause. He's got a Makino, Nami, Radbeam, Dadan, Nico Robin, Diable Jambe, and Fire Fist. I think I dropped the Dadan here and hope to survive next turn to try to push through lethal next turn, because I still have the Diable Jambe. So if I can make something happen here, you know, because Fire Fist and Nico Robin will allow you to take out the Trafalgar Law blocker. You have Makino, so if you could go like Nami, Dadan, get some... I would try to get some board presence here. That would be my number one... like, that would be my absolute number one priority currently. Okay, he does establish the Nico Robin by KOing the Trafalgar Law. And I guess he is scared to lose the game next turn, right? Like, that's the serious issue at hand here, is he could actually just lose the game next turn. Because look at all the... Like, if he still had the Law, yeah, maybe that's the situation here. So now he's going to swing 9. I'm assuming at life again, because... Okay, it looks like he just asked how many cards in hand. 5. Blocks... Yeah, I was going to say, you definitely want to keep this 1 last life here, even if you had to sacrifice your blocker, because 9, so 6, then he can count out for 3 like he did. And, right, well, he counted out for 10, but still. You definitely don't want to lose this life, because you know your opponent has Diable Jambe from the early buggy search. You have to make sure you keep this 1 life alive. Okay. So swing for 6k at leader. Honestly, yeah, I was going to say I'd probably 2k counter out of what I can, because he's sitting on 10 active Dawn. Now, we know he has a 9-cost Kaido. Our opponent may or may not have that knowledge that this deck runs that. I'm pretty sure everyone knows Purple Luffy runs the 9-cost Kaido. But, yeah, you got to be careful here. Swing for 6k more. Gets a Rush Luffy. He does get a Rush Luffy from leader, but I don't know if that's going to help it anymore. Like at this point in the game. Okay, so what happened there? Let me so he plays out the Kaido, which KOs the Robin. Now he's going to go down to 1, but go back up to 2 because of Eustace Kid's effect, returning the Dawn with whoa, hang on. So that's how he was able to swing for 2 to go to 7k to swing here. Now he has 1 Dawn active. I don't know why he's not going to use his Rad Beam here. Okay, sorry guys, there's a lot going on, and it's at 2x speed. So, swing 7, he takes it, but a 10k attack is coming. That you'll lose the game if you don't block. Yeah, I think that was just a slight play mistake. He should have absolutely used Rad Beam to stop that. And I'm wondering how many... I think the Luffy could have just won, right? I mean, you can't take the risk, right? But I think the Luffy player could have literally just won the game right there by swinging with Kid, because he only has a 1k in hand. No, excuse me, he could have got out because Dadan. That is a Dadan. Whew, that was a very close game there. Or like right there, it would have almost been over with what was on board. So maybe it is a good thing that the Trafalgar Law got KO'd last turn. Okay, Diable Jambe to swing for 7. So it looks like, so there's a very obvious game plan here. He wants to try to get through for 7k with the leader, and then another, what is it, 6, 7, 8, 9k with the Luffy to finish the game off. But we know, you know, there's a reason he's not stacking everything up on this. Okay, let's see what he does here. He's going to pay 2. Okay, so Diable Jambe, my Zoro is unblockable, and I'm going to swing 7 at life with 7 Dawn active. Okay, 8k's out with the Jet Gatling counter. What did he toss out with it? He tossed out the Miss All Sunday, I think. Yep. Okay, and that... So right now as the Zoro player, I think you basically know the game's over, right? Like, it's just like, okay, we're in trouble, right? We are just... We're done for. We're cooked. But now he's going to do the searching. See, so this is the weird thing to me, is I feel like last turn was his turn to go for all the searching. Like okay, let's do a Dadan search to set up. Let's get a Buggy down. Let's get Nami down, and go from there. And even earlier in the game, taking out the page 1 would have probably been the better call, so you have less to worry about here. Oh gosh, and then he whiffs the Buggy search. What did he whiff? Let's see what we saw. 2k counter and Sanji. Hang on, let me look at it one more time. I'll pause it right there. All right, so a 2k counter, a 2k counter. I think that's Magra, Sanji, and a 3-cost, the Zoro. Oh, that's rough. Now he does the Nami search. Yeah, and I think at this point in the game, he just knows it's over. He's just trying to have good sportsmanship here. Okay, it looks like the judge is saying something. We got 2 1-cost Namis from the Nami search. Magra, Zoro, and a jet pistol. Okay, so the judge had to adjust something. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. He's just making sure there's 1 Dawn tap for Diable Jambe, and then 2 for the 2/1 drops. 2 on Zoro to swing 7, and 5 Dawn active. So he grabs the Zoro. Honestly, maybe you just play Zoro here and try to take out a character. Okay. Nope. Okay, so he swung 6. Yeah, he did swing 6 at the page 1. 1k counter out of it. But 2 Dawn active. There is just no way to get through this. GG, and that's game. Okay, very nice. So a few things I do want to say, just as just trying to figure out what could have gone better for the Zoro player. Okay, number 1 would have been playing around the 4-cost Trafalgar Law. We haven't seen that much yet in the West, but if you're playing as a purple deck, guys, do not have 7 cards in hand. Under any circumstance, do not have 7 cards in hand. I guess that's like the first thing we can learn from this. Not that that's always going to be easy, but you can see that there was the purple Luffy did swing, so there is a way to counter out of that, and he did early. That was the first thing. The second thing, let me fast forward. Maybe Zoro swung a little too early with his 1-cost guys, because like, okay, just on board, like let's just look at what's on the board right now, like not even considering what's in hand. Okay, I've got a 3k to 3k tapped, and my opponent has his leader swing and a 6k on board. I know those characters aren't going to survive, right? That's my logic. But who knows? Again, maybe he just has to do it by a certain time or he loses regardless. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, let's just fast forward through these searches. So this turn, his whole entire board gets cleaned up. This was an absolute massacre. That Pauly with all this momentum on the board just was an absolute massacre. But then I feel like right here, if I had to, I would Fire Fist the page 1, and I would KO it with my leader, if I had to. Because, I mean, just anything to get some kind of board state back, and then you could drop your what was it, the Nika Robin just for momentum. Or even swing 10. If he's going to see, let me pause it. Again, because you want to play around the 4-cost blocker anyway. So I would just Jet Pistol, or excuse me, I would Fire Fist the page 1 here and just swing 5 into it or 6 into it to make sure it's gone. Because Fire Fist, again, I have it up over here still from when we searched it. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 4,000 power during this turn as a main effect. And then the second part doesn't matter. But okay, we'll drop him down to a 2K, and then we'll just take him out 100%. Like, you cannot have this kind of board state against me. And then I would actually just play a Nico Robin just to establish a body. Like, okay, you have 5 life left. Why are you sitting on 1 Dawn? Like, you have 2 Rad Beams, maybe... I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, and then here's another line of play. So he did that. He got a life off. So swing 7 here. Maybe this is where you use a Rad Beam plus a Nico Robin, because that will only be 8K. But instead, he gets to 7 cards in hand, and now we'll pay 4 and punish with Trafalgar Law. Very brutal. That was very brutal. And actually, I wonder if he could have played... He should have played technically speaking, he should have played Kid first, because he's going to play that next, and then he could do this effect to return the Dawn card back. Okay, and then he's going to swing 6 here, but maybe he's playing around Jet Pistol. That's a very understandable concern, you know, to play around Jet Pistol. Okay, Fire Fist from the top. Yeah, and from here, I feel like it just all goes downhill. and I do feel like it came from this one turn that, well, 2 turns really. 2 turns really. Let me fast forward a little bit, sorry. Right here. I don't know if and again, it's easy for us to make these calls watching the game, right? And having the understanding of what's coming next in each player's hand. I don't know if I swing here, though. Like, generally speaking, if I see a page 1 on my opponent's side of the board and you know, the leader's swinging, of course, too. Like, okay, do I really want to lose 2 characters here? I'd rather lose life, right? Like, I mean, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't play red. I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything like that. I have very little experience playing red. So, but I've played against a lot of red. And sometimes I feel like the players I go against, they're just like, nope, I'm actually not going to swing until like turn 3 or 4. So if you want to attack my board, you can't, unless you have KO in hand, obviously, or bottom deck effects. But if you want to attack, you're going to have to attack my life and give me cards. And I'm going to turn on my Rad Beam that much earlier and have more answers in hand. But yeah, that's just me. And then again, not getting rid of this page 1 when he had the opportunity to right here, I also feel I feel like that was a little bit of a blunder personally. And I understand you know, you're on a clock. I get it. You know, the purple Luffy players in game is way better than yours, right? Like, we all understand that. However, you still have to make it to the end game, right? Because I think this game lasted, what, 4 turns or 5 turns altogether? Let me see. That's where he got the Kaido from life. I'm going to count real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to count real quick. I'm pretty sure it was... Okay, so this is... So, turn 2 for Zoro. I'm going to fast forward, sorry. Turn 3 for Zoro. Turn 4 for Zoro. Sorry, it's just easier for me to go off of Zoro. And yeah, that's it. The game's over right here, for the most part, right? I mean, he makes it to turn 5, I think, and that's game over. Excuse me. So it ended up being a 5-turn game, technically 6 if you count the, you know, pass the turn back to lose the game. It was basically a 5-turn game. Sorry, guys. Well, so that's all I want to say is, you know, I think there were a few things that should have probably been handled differently. But, you know, these players are dealing with only a limited amount of knowledge. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand, and so on and so forth. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. What would you do? What are you looking forward to most in OP-05 in the West? Do you think Sakazuki? Let's go back one more. I do want to talk about this. Do you think the West is going to be as dominant with Sakazuki as it is in the East? Excuse me. I do see Purple Luffy doing pretty good. I see Yellow having a little more representation in the West, and maybe even Whitebeard having more representation in the West, but I could be wrong about that. Sakazuki for sure. We're going to see some Sakazuki decks, but what do you guys think? All right, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And, yeah, until next time. Peace.